Executor, I sense that Zeratul and his brethren are close by, but I have been unable to make contact with them. I fear they may be in grave danger. We must scour this area immediately and find the Dark Templar, lest they be overcome by the Zerg.
At last, we finally breached the infested Terran Installation. The horrors that await us in these dark halls beset our courage at every turn. But Tassadar remains certain that Zeratul is nearby, and so we must press on. He must have been here for some time, and the Zerg forces we defeated outside must have been stationed there to prevent his escape. Despite our assessment of the situation, we do not yet know the extent of the Zerg infestation within this facility. We are blind men, wandering through the dark, but will rescue the Dark Templar all the same. The cold walls within the compound are eerie and unsettling. Beneath us, the floor is dilapidated and wet with ichor and slime. The Zerg have definitely been this way. Tassadar uses his Templar's psionic techniques to send out hallucinations to scout the area. In doing so, we find a few scattered Zerg, and even an infested Terran waiting for us at the entrance. Their color is familiar to us, no doubt the shade and hue of the Balrog brood, controlled by the Cerebrate Gorn. No doubt, Gorn intends to slay Zeratul, either because of tracking our mission, or at the Overmind's command. The ambitious Cerebrate has beaten us here, and hopes that he might crush two birds with one outpost. The main hall opens up into the first chamber, where we find countless Terran bodies, their remains crushed into the floor and painted across the room's steel walls. What slaughter could have taken place in here? Zeratul must have fled through here when there was no other option left. Much to our surprise, Terran Dominion survivors await in the next chamber.
Mind if we tag along?
While Emperor Minsk and his machinations, or his lapdog General Duke, are no allies of ours, we are relieved to find any living beings in this facility that are not Zerg. The surviving Marines join up with us in hopes of being rescued, bringing much-needed firepower to our meager force. More Terran bodies line the hallway in the opposite direction, and after dispatching more of Gorn's forces, even more Dominion survivors join our strike force.
Mind if we tag along?
Deeper and deeper we go, into the belly of the beast, facing yet more of Gorn's swarm, and a brood we've encountered prior on Char, the Jormungand brood, led by Cerebrate Erich. The Jormungand are responsible for sealing the installation's entrance, and were the initial Zerg forces we encountered before finding Tassadar and Jim Raynor. It's no surprise that his forces are here supporting Gorn. A hallway leading to the northwest section of the facility brings us to a teleporter, allowing us to beam in reinforcements from outside.
Teleportation field activated.
We probe yet deeper, now with a small squad of Marines at our back and a few more Protoss warriors in our vanguard. Following the scent of death and the trail of bodies stretching further within, one of our more astute Marines perks up, sensing a disturbance in the force, and soon after that we are promptly ambushed.
Did you hear that?
Hydralisks slither out from hiding, and in the ensuing struggle, an infested Terran claims several of our warriors with its putrid suicidal explosion. Next comes a crossroads, and we choose the path to our left, or the camera's right, and find a holdout of Dominion Marines desperately trying to fight off a wave of Gorn's Zerglings.
We gotta move.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
We stave off the attack with only minor casualties, but only a Dragoon and a host of terrified Marines are left to complete the rescue. We double back through the crossroads and take the opposite path from before. The eerie quiet is once again broken by a Marine sensing a disturbance in the force.
What was that?
An infested Terran resurfaces within arm's reach of Tassadar. Moments before it can detonate, our Marines shoot it down in a spray of Gauss rifle fire. That was a close call. Every comrade we have left is precious. So we deploy Tassadar's hallucinations as scouts to discover another infested Terran blocking our path. It wastes its detonation chasing after an illusion, and we push out into another vast chamber. We take on a group of Hydralisks blocking our way while Tassadar finds a switch, opening a path to a nearby security room.
Executive, Tarakala. Input command.
No doubt, Zeratul awaits inside. We advance back through the crossroads to go down the last remaining hallway, even though our instincts are screaming that terrors hide within. Another wave of illusions deployed, and we find not one, but 2 infested Terrans, and an accompaniment of auto turrets lining the walls. We lure the infested Terrans to detonate on our illusions once again, and then command our forces to sprint past the turrets.
How may I help? Of course. For Adun, Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun, Tarakala.
Near the end of the hall, a 3rd infested Terran awaits, but a gravely wounded Marine throws himself at the beast in an act of heroic sacrifice. Following this, the terrible AI for Dragoon pathing reveals itself as the true enemy of this mission. And the stupid bastards just cannot handle stairs for some reason.
Mitoga. Commencing. For vengeance. Initiated. For vengeance. Mitoga. Confirmed. Mitoga Lopai. For vengeance.
How may I help? Tarakala. How may I help?
Tassadar taps his remaining energy for more hallucinations to distract the rocket turrets outside the security door. Out of breath, he implores us for a moment to rest to recover his energy. Once rested, he summons more Dragoon hallucinations before we find a host of Zerg outside of a door, perhaps guarding its contents or trying to get inside. We trick the infested Terran in the group to detonate on our hallucination, which in turn decimates all the Zerglings present in a chain reaction. Then Tassadar cleans up the Hydralisks with a well-placed psionic storm. Behind this security door, we find the last of the Dominion survivors. A squad of Marines, complemented by a detachment of Firebats, and a Ghost for support. Tassadar needs another rest before continuing, which we happily oblige. Though nearly drained of energy at this point, his spellcasting is the only reason we have survived thus far. Once he's ready to move, we send out our Ghost to see what awaits us around the bend.
I'm all over it. I hear that. I'm gone. Never know what hit 'em. I hear that. I'm gone.
Our stealthed sniper doesn't make it too far before a drone of screeching and quick steps heralds a massive swarm of Zerglings advancing on our position. We hunker down behind the Firebats and pour munitions into the horde, finishing them off with psionic storms. Yet another infested Terran rushes us from the rear of their ranks, but we catch it in a second deftly placed psionic storm just before it can demolish our front lines.
Yes, Executor?
Only minor casualties. An outright miracle. Several empty cells await us down the hall, with one door refusing to open. Proceeding down the hallway, we find a final room in the back, guarded by several turrets.
For Adun, Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala. Of course. I hear you. Yes, Executor. Tarakala. Of course.
We knock out the turrets and activate the switch to open the final door of the prison cells. and at long last we have arrived. And Tassadar finds himself face to face with the legendary prelate of the Dark Templar, Zeratul.
Done. For Adun, it shall be done. Greetings, Dark One. I have come to bring you home.
Greetings to you, mighty Tassadar. I knew that you would not forsake us. For in the time that you have spent with us, you have learned to value our ways and our methods. You have learned to channel our dark power, as well as that of your masters. And thus you alone have found completeness beyond the scope of the Gala. But I fear that the Conclave in its pride could never bring itself to welcome outcasts such as we.
Outcasts though you may be, it is your vision and courage that may yet save our homeworld from the swarm. I beg of you, Zeratul, return with us to Auir. Though they are petty and have in ignorance cursed your kind for generations, help me save our people.
Since our banishment long ago, we have never failed in our responsibility to Auir. Though it shall cause us great pain to see our homeland once more, we shall return with you, Tassadar. We will do what we can.
While grateful to us for coming to his aid, Zeratul laments that his people will be greatly pained to behold Auir once more. But, much like Tassadar, they will do what it takes to save even those who have condemned them. Our lives for Auir. So I apologize for the messy hair and the covered in cat hair. And aside from the bloopers that I like to put at the end of the video, I wanted to include this little snippet while I was recording this mission. I've beaten Starcraft and Brood War countless times. I've been playing this game since 1999, and I'm in my mid-30s now. And so every time I approach these missions, when I record for you guys, it's always very lackadaisical. You know, I don't expect to lose. And I actually lost for the first time in the last 6 months. I lost while I was recording Into the Darkness. The very final fight scene, I was not paying attention to my troops, and an infested Terran snuck a good shot on me. I'll show you guys here. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Awaiting instructions.
I hear you.
Finally, I'm gone. Never know what hit 'em.
Taffy. Tassadar uses his Templar. No doubt, Gorn intends to slay Zeratul, either because of tracking our mission, or at the either because of tracking our mission, or at the why? While Emperor Minsk and his machinations, the Jormungand are responsible for sealing the installation's entrance. The Jormungand are responsible for sealing the installation's entrance. Hydralisks slither out from hiding, and in the ensuing struggle, an infested Terran claims several of our warriors with its following this, the terrible AI for Dragoon pathing reveals itself as the true enemy of this mission. The stupid bastards just cannot handle stairs for some reason. Yet another infested Terran rushes us from the rear of their ranks, but we catch it in a second, deftly place us.